Vaheguru, 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 Vaheguru.
Waheguru Ji ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji ki Fateh. These are just things that I've taken out. So they're not written out in a book, but it's just 5 ways of looking at the same thing. It's a spiritual discipline designed to get the person to basically manifest the one inside them. Guru Gobind Rai says, Puran Jot Jagay Kat Main. So within there, inside them, the light is shining fully. And Puran Prem is another line that Guru Gobind Rai uses for the Khalsa. They have pure love for that one. And there's a line from Kabir Ji where he says something very similar. Kaho Kabir Jan Pe Khalse Prem Pagat Je Jani. As in it's somebody who is in love with God and trying to manifest that light inside them. Also, alongside that idea of the pure is that the Khalsa should not be staying into rituals like idol worship or worshipping of graves or any kind of rituals. The Khalsa should be focused only upon the one. And in the same Shabad that Guru Gobind Rai describes the Khalsa, Mala says, Ek bina man nek na mane. So the Khalsa is not to focus upon any other demigods or any previous avatars, is only to focus upon Guruji and focus upon Waheguru. So another way of understanding the Khalsa is to say the Khalsa is basically Guru's own. In the old days, the word Khalsa also used to mean land that was owned by just the king. So for example, the queen of this country, she has land that she sold off and it's owned by other people. It's a freehold. And there's also, she has land which is owned purely by her. So that was the same kind of concept for the Khalsa. The Khalsa is owned by the Guru. It's a Guru's own form, it's a Guru's own body, and it focuses only upon the Guru. Now to understand that in a bit more detail, we can see that once someone takes Amrit, one of the philosophies that's given to them is now you are born in Anandpur Sahib, your father is Guru Gobind Singh Ji, your mother is Mata Sahib Kaur, and Khalsa is your family, all the Khalsa is your big brotherhood. And you've changed your caste, you've changed your birthplace, you've changed your family, you're now reborn in Guru Gobind Singh Ji's family. And that can be the kind of Guruji wanted to instill that complete change and the complete ownership of the Khalsa Panth for Guru Gobind Singh Ji. And their total devotion of becoming owned by Guru is actually reflected in Gurbani as well. There's a couple of quotes that in Gurbani that really resonate with this. For example, Guru Nanak Dev Ji, when he first talks about playing this game of love, he says, if you want to play this game of love, Jito Prem Khilan Ka Chao, then step onto my path with your head in the palm of your hands. Literally give your head to your Guru. And also Guru Amar Das Ji, when they talk about if you meet such a Guru, aisa Satguru je mile tisno sir sompiye vicho aap jaye. So when you meet such a great Guru, then give your head to that Guru. Another line which also resonates is from Sukhmani Sahib, and it says, Man beche Satgur ke paas, tis sevak ke karj ras. So when we sell our mind to our Guru, then that's kind of like what the Khalsa is doing at that time. And that's obviously exactly what happened in 1699 when Guruji asked for a head. When he picked up the sword, then those 5 people that came forward and gave their head to Guruji, then they became the Khalsa. So really, it literally is an act of selling yourself to your Guru. A third way of understanding the Khalsa is the epitome of what Guruji was trying to create in this world. They wanted to create the ideal human being is a Sant Sipahi. People say that warrior saint, but actually saintly soldier. That's the ideal translation. Sant Sipahi. So a Sant Sipahi is the ideal human being in Guru Gobind Singh Ji's and Guru Nanak Dev Ji's eyes, because this person engages with the world fully. So they are spiritual, but they also don't leave the world. They are here to serve humanity, whether it is sometimes with alms or whether it is with serving people food or langar. So we can understand Deg Fateh refers to this, where Deg is the food and the kind of langar that the Khalsa will provide, and also Teg is that justice with the kirpan that the Khalsa is supposed to provide. Also that person is prepared to put their life on the line to achieve that. And we see that with quotes from Gurbani like Surah so pechaniye jo lade deen ke hit purja purja kat mare kabu na chhade ket. So the Khalsa is there also to serve humanity to the point where its own life, the life of somebody who is Amritari, might be put at risk, but they don't step away from that challenge, because that's really what they're here to do, is to take that line which other people aren't prepared, because it's a bit scary. The Khalsa is there to say, look, I've already died, I've given my head to my Guru, I've already died, now I'm here to serve. If it's trying to be a saintly soldier and it has duties towards humanity to save and uphold justice, then it needs a kind of a visible appearance that stands it out. So like a policeman has a uniform, so the Khalsa needs something to signify where they are, so people can turn to them for help. And that really is where the kesh comes from, the 5 Ks that the Sikhs wear, the turban, the beard, and carrying the kirpan. This is all a kind of a physical discipline of the Khalsa, and that's really to help it fulfill the soldier side of that. And the spiritual discipline, which goes in line with this idea of being pure, and that is that of waking up in the morning and doing its prayers, doing Naam Simran, waking up obviously in the Amrit Vela, and then living throughout that day remembering God's name. And that goes back to the very first discipline given by Guru Ram Das Ji in Gurbani, that the Sikh should wake up in the morning, do their prayers. So that's the exact rehat that the Khalsa is given. So it's got the spiritual rehat. Now we see the Khalsa has a physical rehat of standing out, having a kirpan, being armed at all times, being with a kashera, modest at all times, and then obviously with the turban, they're standing out, and the beard, they stand out at all times. The Guru Khalsa is the physical body of the Guru. But the reason that's slightly different is that the Khalsa has certain duties upon it, which is a kind of like a corporate responsibility, if you understand. The Khalsa is now the physical manifestation of Guru Gobind Singh Ji and all the Gurus upon this earth. So the Guru Granth Sahib Ji contains all the wisdom that the Khalsa needs to look at, and for the rest of the world. But the Khalsa is basically the hands and the feet of Guru. The first responsibility obviously is that we are able to serve as part of the Panj Pyare. The only way to become Amritari within the Sikh tradition is through the Panj Pyare. Another responsibility is that the Khalsa must come together and take part in Gurmatas. So where there is a problem facing the Panth, or there is a situation where people are called together, everybody who is Amritari needs to be prepared to turn up to one of these events and then give their voice where it's required. But also once that decision is taken as a Gurmata, as a unanimous all agreed upon decision, at that point then it's the responsibility of every Sikh to support that and really get behind it and allow that decision to manifest itself. Another responsibility within being part of the Khalsa is that we must take part in the Gurdwara environment. We should be doing seva at the Gurdwara, that the respect for Guruji and the respect for the traditions of Sikhi are upheld in all the Gurdwara. Another way of looking at the Khalsa itself is really the thing that inspired me a lot when I came into Sikhi, is this political ideal of emancipation of all the downtrodden people. So Guru Gobind Singh Ji says, you know, I've come to uproot the tyrants and to establish morality and dharam all across the world. And you know, Guru calls himself the defender of the poor, the strength of those that have no strength. So really the Khalsa is there to do that as well. And it's basically a political mission, which is to seize power for the benefit of the masses. So egalitarian revolution, and this is, you know, something very close to my heart. You think about, you know, people that study politics or study the history of, you know, power struggle between the rich and the poor. You always find that there needs to be some organized struggle of people who come together to do this. But those guys, you know, they can often lose their ideals when power comes inside them. So the Khalsa really is being given this spiritual discipline, but also the mission. Not only is the Khalsa got to do deg fateh, but also it has to do Raaj karega Khalsa. So the political emancipation is not something which is an ideal which won't happen. Guru Gobind Singh Ji has told us that if the Khalsa stays pure and follows this physical rehat and the spiritual rehat, and also this idea of serving the poor and serving society around it, and working towards this emancipation of the poor, then at some point the world will accept that the Khalsa should be in charge of the world, and the Khalsa ideals will reign supreme, and basically Raaj karega Khalsa. these 5 things all combine really to be Guru Gobind Singh Ji and Guru Nanak Dev Ji's mission upon this earth, which is to uplift it from where it is now in the age of darkness, where spirituality and the worship of the One has kind of been hidden and the poor people are being exploited, to one where the poor people and the meek are actually effectively in charge, and they are the ones that are exalted, and that Waheguru, the creator of all of us, is exalted, and that would be Satjug, an age of enlightenment. So the cast is here to bring that upon the earth. I'm sure I made bare mistakes and loads of mistakes in that video, so my apologies. Bula chuka maaf karniya. Waheguru Ji ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji ki Fateh.